Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer for Legiones Astartes for Warhammer the Horus Heresy from Games Workshop. It's right here in this box and it will cost you a whopping £70 for this big tank. It is a Lord of War choice in the book, but you can have two in a unit, squadron, whatever. So this kit comprises of 221 plastic components. It's not wrapped in a plastic film like they used to be. Instead of that, we're now getting these bits of rounded off sellotape tabs, which we will need to remove before lifting the flaps. But before we do that, let's just have a look at the reverse, see what configuration they've gone for. So they've equipped it with two sponsons of Volkite culverins, and they've got one of the Space Marines out of the hatch. I might do that with mine. I think I did a similar sort of thing with the Typhon. I think it looked quite cool. They've even put a symbol on the front armor plate too. And of course you've got the usual options on top of the Volkite culverin to have the heavy flamers, the heavy bolters and the las cannons. I'm just going to go straight up with las cannons with mine. I've got enough Volkite to mix and match with all of these, so yeah. And as you can see straight away, it wouldn't have been physically possible to squeeze in that Typhon sprue in with this box set. There's just not enough space. This Cerberus particular sprue, and likewise with the Typhon, those kit specific sprues do take up a fair bit of space, and also it raises the question of confusion on the front of the box, like which tank would you choose to put on the front of that box, and how would you communicate that you can build two of those kits in the box. Sometimes I think the communication is lost with the characters like Eternus. You don't know you've got a Chaos Lord until you reverse the box over. This is sprue I, and this is the main neutron beam laser, heavy one. Looks fantastic. It's got its own mounting point, so it doesn't use the Typhons. It's got the top charging array or capacitor. It's got the three barrel ends or tips, and it's got the barrels themselves and the runners and the mounting point and part of the barrels too. So that is the new sprue. That's the main difference that you get between this kit and the Typhon. Everything else is exactly the same in here. So you've got these armor paneling on the sides. You've got the top hatch entry point. You've got more armor. You've got more mounting points for the top of this armor. You've got the Spartan sort of sprues, the Land Raider sprues themselves, so the two sides, and you've got some exhaust. You've got more of the top, and you've got some of the tracks there. You've got the track sprue, as I always like to call it. It's a massive sprue consisting of all the tracks that you're going to need and use, the bottom of the tank, even some of the kind of top turret mounted weapons that you would use if you were using it as a Proteus or a Spartan. Then you've got another sprue right here, which is the front and rear of the track runners, as well as some iconography and some items that the crew can hold, and some of the crew's arms are in here as well, and the OG sort of Land Raider doors. Vehicle accessory sprue right here. Yeah, fantastic sprue. It comes with all of the plastic Horus Heresy kits. I wish it came with I wish it was included in the resin Forge World kits as well, because it's a very useful sprue, and I've got many of these sprues now, and it just gives you so many options. And then the Horus Heresy tank sponson weapon sprues. You've got the Volkite culverins, as I said, the heavy bolters, the heavy flamers, and the las cannons. It's another nice sprue. And we get to the instructions. After a whopping 7 sprues in this kit, we get to the instructions. This is all going to be the same as the Typhon. building up the actual chassis. This is where it gets a little bit different though. You've got this new capacitor and the different top hatch there that all go together and then combine with the outline framing of the gun. Then you sort of squeeze, then you fix all of those three sort of sub-assembly parts together. Then you work on the main neutron laser battery weapon. Once again, they say don't glue the battery itself to the mounting points, but glue the mounting points so you can freely move it. I'm not sure because the Typhon's siege cannon was a bit loose in there, so I ended up with a pose and I just glued it, and that's fine. I can live with that, but you don't have to. You know, if you put something in there to increase the resistance, then you could probably have it at a specific angle. Then you've got the side sponson weapons, how to build all those, how to attach them, and I think the last page may well go through, yeah, the pintle mounted weapons and the vehicle accessory sprue and what to mount. And then you're treated with a picture of a couple of options that they've done. They've got a combi melter, I think, there, and a hunter killer, searchlight and smoke launchers with heavy bolters. And then the other one, they've got a pintle mounted multi-melter and sponson las cannons. As I said, I'm going for las cannons, and much like with the Sakaran Venator, because it is a dedicated anti-tank, anti-armour vehicle, and I've got lots of other anti-infantry sponsons and things in other tank kits. And then there's the transfer sheet. So quite a big, lengthy unboxing. My type of unboxing, you know, 7 big sprues there. Yes, the tank is £70, but you know, you could probably pick it up for about 56 or so with a discount. Definitely a fair bit cheaper than the 110 that I probably paid for my resin one 6 or 7 years ago, perhaps. But yeah, of course I will be getting a review out to you of this tank much quicker than the Typhon, I assure you. I know quite a few people were waiting for that review, and yeah, thank you for your patience. I think you all know if I could receive the miniatures earlier, I'd get the reviews out earlier too. But what do you guys think of the Cerberus heavy tank destroyer? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be good to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.